If you're throwing hand grenades, it's close enough. So I'm gonna call this Aztec City regular meeting to order Tuesday, September 23rd at 5:59 p.m. Tonight our invocation will be led by Commissioner Crowley and our pledge by Commissioner Randall. Please stand.
Our Father, we thank you for your love for us. We thank you for the great place that we live and for the abundance of moisture coming very fast. We still thank you for that, and there's water in the river. We thank you for many people in our community who contribute much, and we thank you that it helps make us a good place to live. So, Father, as we are looking at things that affect the city, show us how to make the best decision for all. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico and see it as a symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
Thank you, gentlemen. Carla, will you please call the roll?
Mayor Padilla,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem George,
Present.
Commissioner King,
Here.
Commissioner Crowley,
Here.
Commissioner Randall,
Here.
all present.
Thank you. Everybody knows our city attorney is on Zoom, so we have tonight is something that as elected officials we will all like to do, and that's recognize a couple of employees. Jeff, do you want to handle that, or?
Yeah, Mayor and Commission, I'll kick it off. First off, the first employee we're going to bring up, Mayor Pro Tem, would you like to do the presentation? This is Yvonne Wheeltime. Yvonne, if you'll come up. Yvonne's been with the city for 57 years. Or 35? 34? 31.
This is being the best employee ever.
She'll make her head big.
So, you know the story? You can tell the story of what we're giving award for.
And you can help me out if I leave something out. That's all for you, girl. Yvonne, noticed the county has some surplus equipment, and forever we've needed a motor grader. And she went to the bat for us and went and started talking with the county officials and said, hey, if you guys are gonna get rid of that motor grader, we'd love to have it at City Aztec. And through her diligence and pecking at them, we got us a motor grader. And that's flat awesome.
Thank you. It's like to thank the county. For that money. And I worked with them just to get the baby.
Yep, great.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
doing that, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
It shows the dedication right there.
If any of you guys want to know anything in the city of Aztec, that's the lady. She knows everything.
Mayor.
Okay, next we have our employee of the quarter, Alexis. Would you like to come up? Alexis has been with us for 14 years. She's been in the utility department 99.9% of that time. She's described as having a great smile, interacts well with our customers. Most everybody that calls wants to talk to Alexis, and that puts her in a position where she's solving a lot of issues, but she always does it pleasantly, and we're so happy and so proud that you're part of our organization. Thank you.
Very
Thank you very
happy.
much.
I can attest to Alexis's way she treats people. I came in my work clothes, needing some paperwork for the all-class reunion. She diligently hunted for this paperwork, which in the city of Aztec, you can't find any paperwork. So next thing she did, she filled out more forms than we, thanks to you, we had a great reunion out there. We had about 150 people from all the classes from Aztec High School. So thank you for your help. I appreciate it. Okay.
wanna say anything, Alexis?
Thank you.
Okay.
I wanna say something. She did a great job handling, the constituent concern. I said, call, ask her, Alexa. And she did, and she said, it was wonderful, and so, thank you for doing that. That was within the last 2 weeks.
Awesome. And then the last is for the senior center. We haven't advertised this, and I think they don't receive the award until next month. But they've won the Blossom Award for the 2025 New Mexico Grown Golden Chili Award. Explain to us what that is?
That's last year.
One of you? That's last year, but it's this year's award. They went from sprout to blossom.
Where do you want it over here?
Sure, wherever you want. Just to tell everyone.
I'm
What's your word?
Erica. I am the supervisor at the Aztec Senior Center.
And I'm Connie, the director. You want me to go first?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna tell you what is New Mexico Grown. It is a food purchasing grant program that nourishes New Mexico school-aged children, older adults, and families. We work with local farmers and ranchers who have been pre-approved in this program. I'm kind of cutting it. Besides purchasing the usual, we sometimes that shows you, we'll purchase like lion's mane mushrooms or beef bone marrow, and we'll fix it up and let them taste it, and they seem to like it.
So this is actually our 4th year getting awarded this grant, and it's a great nutritional factor for our seniors. Usually our grant is divided into 2 accounts. Half will go to produce and the other half will go for meat. And it also helps us offset some of our budget costs as well. So last year, the picture shown, we won the Sprout Award. And then this year we were awarded the Blossom Award. So the next step for us is we'd like to achieve the highest award, which is the Green Chili Award. So we're gonna work for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for acknowledging. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we will move on. I would entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda items.
Mayor, I move to approve this evening's agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to consent agenda. Again, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move for approval. Second.
We have a motion, a second to approve tonight's consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign for those opposed. Motion carries. We have no items removed from the consent agenda. We have nobody signed up to talk to us tonight. So we'll move on to our business items tonight. Item A is special budget resolution 2025-1511 replacement of 2 water production pumps. I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move for approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have anybody here that wants to address that?
Dan, if you want.
Yes.
Yeah, please do.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission. It was reported to me that from the water plant from our lead operator that we have 2 production. We actually have 4 production pumps total, but 2 of them are in pretty much disarray at this point. One of them has already been removed, and for diagnostics, excuse me, and it was deemed to be so faulty they don't even make the parts for this type of pump anymore. So one for sure already is known to have to be replaced. The other one is pretty much on its last leg. It's making the same symptoms as the other one. we are afraid to take that one out of service at this point. And once we do, we have a feeling it's gonna give us the same result as the other one. So we felt it was the fiscally responsible thing to do would be to order 2 pumps. So we have 2 new pumps on our system. We will take this other pump that's in service now, have the diagnostics done on it. We'll keep our fingers crossed, hopefully we can resalvage it, but there's a chance that we may not.
Just for our citizens now, I think there's 5 pumps.
Yeah,
There's
Total.
5 pumps
5
total.
actual total,
Total up,
Yeah.
you know, that we usually have up there, and that we're just trying to catch up.
yes, that is
So-
correct.
And that, that request is the cost for those pumps is $190,000. It's something that, to service our constituents in our city, is something that's vital, so, but, okay, thank you, Ruben.
Sure.
Does anybody have any other comments?
Ruben,
Okay.
will this be retrofitting the parts that the pumps go to because the old pumps are maybe not match up to the flange?
Unfortunately, no. These pumps are so old, they don't, it's not like a plug and play, you can pull one out and then put another one in its place. Their inlet and outlets are different, so we're going to have to refabricate their flanges on both sides. So we have to do some fabrication, which is built into that cost, by the way.
That was my question.
All right?
Thank you.
And do you have a time frame?
These pumps typically would take, they're a range, if you were to ask me that in 2020, it was 36 months. Now, we can get them maybe 6 to 8 weeks now.
Okay,
They've gotten a lot faster, but
okay.
we'll keep I don't wanna jinx it.
No, I was
Yeah.
afraid they'd be like some of our electrical equipment that it
Yeah.
takes, forever, but.
Mayor, if I can.
Please.
Ruben, sorry, one more thing.
Oh, sure.
Do we have a record of when they were placed into service? How old are they?
We do, I don't have that information on there, I could get that for you, that is not a problem. Anthony has all that data.
I just didn't know if they were like the ancient ones.
They are ancient ones, yes. They've been there, and the last time one of them was actually rebuilt was about 6 years ago.
Oh.
So, yeah. Well, just so you know, the average life, a lot of these pumps these days are 5 to 6 years now. That's the life of a pump these days.
Ruben, just because it hit me, we cut some stuff out of the budget for the water treatment plant.
Yes.
Is this one of those items?
Yes,
Okay.
originally it was, yes.
Yeah.
But then
Early on, yeah, there was.
early on, and because we didn't have the diagnostics information at that time, we didn't know how bad that pump really was, but we do now.
So, but now we do. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Which tells me your operators knew more than
Yes,
us. Yeah, when they asked for it.
exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Anything else? Hearing none, then I'll call for a vote on the special budget resolution 2025-1511, replacement of 2 water production pumps. Carly, will you call the roll?
Commissioner King,
Aye.
Commissioner Crowley,
Aye.
Commissioner Randall,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem George,
Aye.
Mayor Padilla.
Aye,
Motion passes 5-0.
thank you. We'll move on to attempt to adopt ordinance 2025-564, amending chapter 16, article 2, parks and recreation fees. I would entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and second. Ed, do you want to address this?
I suppose I could.
Since you wrote the summary.
I can help him.
Or, yeah.
He's in
Yeah,
that
go ahead,
portion.
Joe.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Essentially, the reason we did this is the ordinance hadn't been adjusted in probably about 20 years, so the costs for doing business have significantly changed, especially with the police department. So all this is it's offsetting our costs because we're eating all the costs of running security for all of these events. So we're just adjusting them with the times.
Mr. Mayor, is that time and a half, is that overtime or is it double time or it may vary?
It's time and a half.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, and then we just kind of reworded it so that it's problematic to have a set amount in the ordinance because then every time we have to do this, so we revised it so that way we don't have to make changes to the ordinance every year.
Thank you. Well, and that comment is on, is in there.
Yes, sir.
As far as time and a half overtime average. Okay,
Okay,
thank you. Is there any further questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Carla, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Crowley,
Aye.
Commissioner Randall,
Aye.
Commissioner King,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem George,
Aye.
Mayor Padilla.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
We'll move on to item C, is an intent to adopt ordinance 2025-565, amending chapter 11 licenses and business regulations, chapter 16 fee schedule, and chapter 27 taxation. I would entertain a motion.
I make the motion for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have somebody to address this, or do we need to?
Mayor,
Please.
Mayor and Commission, thank you. Yeah, so our ordinance reads that we are to collect lodger's tax. Right now, we're collecting from our hotel, which had been down for a while, our one RV park. Our board, the Lodgers Tax Board, tasked us with looking at the short-term rentals, that's rentals that are less than 30 days. And so it is included in our ordinance, but as we went through, we weren't really following our procedures, and it really didn't have a strong procedure on how to operate this. So we went through the ordinances, determined that we needed a different type of business license. You still have to have a state license and then a local business license, but the lodger's tax license would be slightly different because it's kind of a rare animal. And so we did some tests by sending out some requests for folks to participate in this, and we got their feedback, and we've tried to make this where the operator is more friendly for the operator and a better chance for us to collect the tax.
Thank you. You know, that brings up a question I've had in the back of my mind. When Comfort Inn went down for that length of time, were they in arrears on lodger's tax?
I don't think they didn't have any revenue, so I don't think there is
So-
any. Yeah.
Okay, well, they were in arrears, so, at that point in time,
I'll check.
okay, that's all I need now. Is there any other
Yes.
questions or discussion?
Mayor. So, does this assist us to deal with situations where there is a squatter on somebody's land, that the person who owns the land, who does not want to do anything about someone being there illegally, is now going to be liable for these fees?
No.
No, I wouldn't think so. Good question, but yeah, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't support that.
No, it's directly for short-term rentals.
Short-term rental.
Not anything.
Any other-
I do, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Just a cleanup thing is in, section 27, dash 405, under licensing, paragraph 2, it says an STR business, that we should write that out, is what that is.
Short-term rental.
Yeah, it's in the other sections, it's all written out, but, STR should say short-term rental.
Okay. Yeah,
In that chapter.
I appreciate that, yeah. We can make that change. I don't know if you need it in the motion or.
No, I think you just change it before the final will be fine.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Hearing none, Carla, will you call the roll?
Commissioner King,
Aye.
Commissioner Randall,
Aye.
Commissioner Crowley,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem George,
Aye.
Mayor Padilla.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. We're gonna move on to, reports. I have one report, and actually it's not well, it is a report. We have, been out for an RFP on attorneys, and we've got one application. If, by reading the time frame that we have, they have until September 25th, which is in 2 days from now, to submit a request. We have one. And I've been asked to, one is not enough for us to evaluate for our attorney fees, so, what I'd like to see us do, and I'm proposing to the commission, you guys can change it however you wanna change it. This is a proposal. I think we go back out, not under RFP, but we go back out like we did for the city manager. In those places and post them in different places, rather than on an RFP. That's pretty well structured, right, the RFP. So going this other way, hopefully we'll get more applications and be able to do this. We have until, I think her contract comes up in January, am I correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, in January, so,
Mayor, this is Nan. I think our contract is up in, February 1st.
okay. So we have some time, but if we go back out and we can do some evaluation on and do some interviews or whatever, but, this request, actually our city attorney put in a request that we need to go out to RFP, and now we need to change that. That's my suggestion, and we need to be able to give our clerk some direction, so.
I'll be in agreement with that. Let's
Okay.
begin to move forward with that and HR.
Please.
Mr. Mayor, Carla, so is this, do you see a problem here with this not being an RFP, that we just hire under a contractual agreement, or how would we do this?
I don't believe it would be an RFP, it would just be an advertisement like we're advertising for a city position.
Okay,
We'd have to get like a job description and get it out there on the website.
right, and Mayor, I think I'm gonna understand that possibly we could end up with, more than one attorney, say one for the criminal side and one that works for the commission and staff.
Well, and to throw another thing into it, we could also possibly hire an in-house. And one that's here all the time. I mean, we have several possibilities, but by going out the other direction, hopefully we'll get more things to look at, more interest than just getting one response. That's my suggestion.
I got you, I'm with that.
Okay. Kobe, you okay with that? Austin? Okay, then that's the direction that the commission would like to go. So, but like I said, I probably wouldn't put it out. We have the RFP is out till the 25th of September, according to the schedule that was put together for me. And we still have plenty of time to go on with that. A couple of things I want to address is I really want to thank the city staff for their help in the all-class reunion at Tiger Park this last weekend. We had about 153 people. I heard 2 complaints the whole time I was there. One was there's not enough restrooms, for old people. There's not enough restrooms. And the other was the parking kind of it's kind of tough to park in there, and they had a soccer game going on at the same time. But it went really, really well. Staff thank you guys for what you did out there. The park looks fine, thank God for rain, because it was actually a little green. One other thing I'd like to bring up, probably taking to Connie leave, I'm probably gonna take her thunder. Sunday, they had a Charlie Kirk Memorial get together in Minium Park, well attended, a really good program, and actually there was no issues. I was anticipating that we could have the other side, but there was actually no issues, and the people that actually put that together, Connie, Tori, and I can't remember the other lady's name. Gail. Yeah, the Beardens, Denver and Gail Bearden, and the lady that is the superintendent of schools in Farmington. So they put this thing together, and it was well attended. So with that, that's my report. Commissioner Randall.
No report.
Commissioner Crowley.
Would like an update on where we are with our streets that were gonna be done. We talked about this in May, that we could get right on it in July. And we've done crack sealing, and I think there stays the same 4 streets, but when is it gonna happen? Because our temperatures are dropping.
Okay. Can you send us an email out on that?
Ruben,
Forgive me.
he's questioning, when are we gonna start the clock sealing?
Park seal, oh, yes, Mayor. Well, it was delayed, it was supposed to start this week. And I got a phone call from the contractor, apparently with all of the heavy rains, they're delayed downstate. They're anticipating to come maybe the 2nd week of October now. The concern now is because of the weather getting colder, there is a possibility they may have to postpone it again until the spring. But the hope is they're still gonna try to get here next month and, get this done for us.
Okay, that answer your question?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mayor. Only thing I have is, don't forget the candidate forum, October 7th. This is how we're gonna shape the city for the next 4 years. So it's the people that are gonna sit up here and make decisions. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends. Let's get 500 people to show up at this candidate forum. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. King?
No report?
Jeff?
No report, sir.
I think that we need to report on the electric outage, and we need to keep doing that. I know it's premature, but I think our citizens need to know. Mr. Albright has the paperwork on that, and he's gonna put something in Tri-City for us. But would you kinda address that, or have John address it? Well, don't have John address it.
No, I think John's the expert on it, if that's okay, Mayor.
Okay.
He's on
Thank
the-
you, and I'll just carry on from there. Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. We've been informed by the City of Farmington Electric Department that on October 14th, the entire city will be shut down because Farmington has some maintenance repair work to do in Bloomfield. They have to repair a switch that could cause another outage. So the entire community will be out from 10 o'clock p.m. on October 14th until 6 a.m. on October 15th. So it's just one of those things that has to be done, or we could get a surprise.
Well, and I guess the reason I wanted it to keep repeating that is we got a lot of people in our community on oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to be made aware that this issue. I mean, it could create a health issue. It's not us doing it, it's Farmington, and
Right.
we just need to keep getting it out. David, if you would make sure that you have it, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll send it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, John.
Yeah, as far as my report, if I may, Mayor and Commission, I have to report again that the Hartman football lighting system is still under the scrutiny of the State Inspection and Regulation Bureau. They have a hold on our work. I kind of refer to a reference in the Bible. It says something like the sins of the father are passed down to the third and fourth generation. I'm the third. We are also working on getting all of our pole attachment agreements up to date. Cedar Networks expires tomorrow, and we're having trouble getting able to communicate with them. Comcast is current until March of 2029. Quest, CenturyLink, now Lumen, expired in March of 2022. We're trying to get that one set up. An outfit called REANet, which is taking fiber optic cable from Farmington all the way to Durango. We have a contract with them that was entered into in July of 2000, and they had a 5-year contract with 3 5-year extensions, which is 20 years. So that one expired in 2020, and we're trying to get that one up to date. Want to take a moment to brag on Jenny for hiring this lady, Julie. On the issue of the change in rates, for those of us in the trenches, we wish we had not increased the rates July 1st, but we did. We wish no one had mentioned a refund, but that was mentioned. I thought I was a spreadsheet wonder, but Julie Graff blows me out of the water. This lady made a spreadsheet that she's gonna be able to tell what every customer of the electric department should be refunded over a 3 or 4 month period. So congratulations to her.
But John, just to kind of clarify that was our intent.
I know.
It's not final.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. With the work Julie done, what I can say is that we may have one customer that'll get $1.75 refund. We may have another one that gets $106.87. So, with her work, I think that's the way we need to proceed if you decide to continue with the refund. The other thing I want to mention, at 4 o'clock, the solar farm was at 730 kW. I failed to look about 2 o'clock to see where the peak was. Then I believe we do need a cost of service workshop before we go out and spend $20,000 or $30,000 with a consultant updating that. And well, how about throwing in a capital projects discussion during that workshop? Lastly, when I leave here tonight, I get to see my grandson that was deployed to East Africa for 16 months. So
Good.
thank you all.
Congratulations. Any other department heads have a report? Judge?
Mayor and Commissioner, I just wanted to give a heads up. If things keep going the way they're going right now in the courts, and then with the police department as busy as they are, come January, we're probably gonna have to do a budget adjustment just because the jail bill. It really shouldn't be under the court's budget, but it is. So, we're not even a quarter of the way through and we're almost halfway through the budget. So, just to give you a heads up to be prepared for that to come.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other report?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Commission. A couple things. Recently, we completed the Williams Arroyo repair down at Hartman Park, next to the parking lot. That thing's been collapsing for months, years. And so we finally got that squared away. It looks really nice. The last thing we're gonna need to do with that is get some railing put up around that on the edge of the sidewalk, but we got some of the sidewalk report as well. So it just looks really nice. I definitely recommend go check it out. It looks good. Several updates on the arterial. So we have, we had our engineer come down today. So at 10:30 this morning, I met with the engineer, contractor, inspectors, everybody, and we had like kind of a site walkthrough. Our engineer came down from Albuquerque, and we did kind of inspections and took a look at everything. Again, it looks really nice. We were talking with the contractor on next steps. It's looking like on the past like almost 3 weeks, they've had their paving crew down in Gallup on another job. I've reiterated that in a previous commission meeting, but they should be back on Monday. So the plan is for them to be back on Monday, and they don't have any more obligations elsewhere. So once they get back on Monday, they can just start going crazy on the paving. Again, there's going to be multiple lifts, layers of the paving they have to do. So it'll take a little while, but I mean, again, they can just go full bore on paving over the next couple weeks. So I think that'll be good. There'll be a little bit of concrete work at some of the areas, and then kind of brings me to my next point. The change order number 2 that I had told you guys about before, I had mentioned it. That was the small junction box. There was a section of the culvert, one of the culverts that goes under the road, where it was hitting like a rock layer, and we decided it was going to be cheaper and easier, instead of trying to do big rock excavation through that section, to just put a junction box at that part of the culvert to drop it a little bit to kind of just miss that rock section. So that's our change order number 2. We do have the number for that. That's $37,000, $37,865 for that one. And then, if you'll recall, we also, as a refresher, we had the change order number 1 several months ago, which was, I think it was like, I apologize, I don't have the number right in front of me. It was like around $11,000, I think. It was fairly small. And then change order 3, I finally have a number on that one for you. If you'll recall, we had this discussion a couple commissions ago about if you remember, the R14 values and the R33 values on the soils. So we had to basically increase the thickness of that pavement to compensate for the poor quality soils. The final number for that one is $932,000. So, I mean, it's a lot of money, but I think something to keep in perspective is that we're still well within our budget in terms of the amount of funding that we have from the state and the city's match. So we're still well within our budget, and that's not accounting for the roughly $600,000 that we saved from the waste excavation plan. So I talked with the engineer today about that. At this point, we don't see any concerns in terms of exceeding our budget or anything like that. But it's a decent chunk of change.
I do have one question for you.
Yes, sir.
We asked staff to look at doing on 550 coming in on that side, and also off of 173 going down to 516. Where are we on that?
Yes, so that was my next thing. I have, let's see. So we do have, if you'll recall, we got the plan sets for what we're calling phase 3, essentially, which is the areas you're talking about. That's our phase 3 plans, and if you'll recall, we found them. They were produced. It was many years ago, and they're in a nearly complete state. They just need to be updated to current specs, and there needs to be some additional utility work kind of worked out. It doesn't, especially near the water plant, there's pipes and things all over the place, and so we kind of need to work out some of the utilities as well as getting a revised environmental clearance, because the environmental clearance was got for that way back in the day, but it's expired since then. So we spoke with the engineer today when he was down here about this specifically, and he estimated that, we do have a proposal from them, and he estimated, again, we're looking at a timeline of if we got started with this proposal right now, he's thinking about 3-ish months on just the environmental, and then it's hard to say, but I anticipate it could be another 6 to 8 potentially for the actual final design of that. So it's a little ways out, but I think it's something that we can move. The sooner we can move on it, the sooner it can get done.
Well, I just don't want to forgotten.
No, and just if you'll excuse me, so we have just the final number for that proposal to get everything finalized, updating the specs, getting all the utility work in, redoing the environmental clearances on right-of-ways. That's $392,000 for that one. And so I guess the next steps for that would be I guess we would need a little bit of direction from commission on where we want to head with that, because if that's something we want to go for right away, that's something we're going to have to find the $392,000 for that. Alternatively, of course, we can go out for grant funding for that, with keeping in mind that it's not going to happen anytime soon. The grants, a lot of the grant fundings for these are probably going to start back up in the beginning of the year, and you know how some of these grants go. They take months and months to get, and so we wouldn't be able to get started for a while. So just something to think about. If that's something we want to have a discussion, like a workshop or something.
One question that comes to mind too, there was some discussion about, instead of taking that, I guess you'd call it the egress, I'm gonna call it the egress on that phase going down to 516. We talked about coming inside Reservoir 2 and dropping down through the Masonic Lodge property.
Next to that.
Has that been even looked at?
That's not part of this proposal. I'm not sure. I'll talk to the engineer and see if that's not part of this proposal. No.
Okay.
This proposal was for the original design. I would say, and obviously I don't have any numbers for this, but because we already have most of the design completed as is, I mean, certainly we could have the engineer look into doing a reroute like that, but then that would have to be redesigned from
Well, and I
scratch.
wouldn't go as far as trying to have all that done without talking to Masonic Lodge and see if they're even
Of
willing
course, yeah.
to allow the city, or however we need to do that, to take it down to there. But to me, that if we went down that area, we would alleviate some future problems with all the lines running under the road.
Yeah, that corridor is
and-
very tight. Yeah.
And that steep hill going down, we could alleviate a lot of problems.
It's a possibility.
So, but I think that, don't lose that thought process, you know, and the Mayor Pro Tem and I can go visit with the Masonic Lodge, or we can do whatever we need to do, but I think we need to at least start putting our feelers out and seeing if they would even condone that kind of request. So, or even, you know, and who knows, most of that vacant land is to the north was donated to them anyway.
Right.
So, they may be willing to, you know.
Sure. And the way I would see that kind of panning out, just hypothetically, is, again, if we did that, like I said, it would need obviously some full redesigns to do that, but it could potentially, no promises, it could potentially result in maybe some savings on the construction end because we wouldn't be doing so. I mean, again, it's hard to say, but I think there's some
Well,
give and take.
my
there.
comments are probably premature until we talk to Masonic Lodge
Of
and
course.
even to address that. But I think that where they're dumping all that stuff just to the south of that, I think it's Reservoir Two.
Correct.
I think that's our property anyway, so.
Yes, it is.
We have the ditch to contend with down there,
Mhm.
and we would have, and of course, getting that property, but I think it would even be smarter for the state when we start trying to get the funding to finish that.
Mhm.
You know, they may be more willing to do that for the safety issues, is what I'm after.
Sure,
But-
sure.
Right,
And-
well, and Mr. Mayor, if I may, a couple of things. I suppose it's way too premature to have any kind of engineer's estimate of which each end's gonna cost, and did the plan set show the signal lighting to
Yes.
go in?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so, I mean, we're gonna have to work hand in hand with the DOT,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we're gonna have to go and ask them for help, money,
Of course.
right? So, I'm sitting back saying, I need a number
Yeah.
so I can start talking.
Sure, and I think the next steps would be for us to, again, we can talk to the engineer and see, if we want to maybe have that added to the proposal or change the proposal or something that's something we want to look into. I mean, obviously that's going to depend on what the folks.
You know, my question would be to the engineer, is it even feasible?
Right, exactly.
Is it even feasible for us to do that? Is the cost savings, is the state
worth it?
gonna be on board with, tying in there instead of where they are? I think it'd be a huge.
A lot of conversation needs to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we'll
and we
definitely-
could start that conversation, but I don't want to forget those two ends.
No.
I think it's vital to,
Oh, yeah, we can't have
vital
a road that doesn't go anywhere.
so, anyway.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Please.
Also,
Yes, sir.
we had, when we were first told about the change order for the soil values, I had asked a question about getting some reasoning from the engineer on why there was such a disparity in what we were originally told. I was wondering if there's an update. on
Yeah.
that.
So I've spoken with the engineer, and actually, let me do the report. I have a report here.
Sorry, I don't forget those.
So, basically, it's hard to. It's one of those things where everything's an estimate, right?
Mhm.
And it's hard to tell with some of these things. We did soil bores at certain locations. In hindsight, and again, this was done 20 plus years ago. In hindsight, there probably should have been more bores done at certain locations. Again, it's one of those things where it's a balance, right? You can't. You don't want to do 5 bores, but you don't want to try to get better information by doing 1,000 bores. It's a balancing act, and I think in retrospect, there potentially could have been more done for that to kind of get us some more information, but it was just unknown conditions. And that was all.
Thank you.
Mayor, so it was the original geotech from like 20 some years ago?
I have to pull up the report.
That's crazy, okay.
Yeah, at least that long.
Yeah,
So the
'cause-
environmental you gotta redo all the time, but the geotech was good for the whole.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's a whole thing.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a report?
Mr. Mayor, Commission, a little good news first. We are working on 3 major projects right now. The water treatment plant Clearwell, we're going out to bid on that one. South Aztec water tank, we're going out to bid on that one. With an ad alternate, which is another project in itself, but we're gonna bid them together, is repair of the pump station at the South Aztec pump station. So that's really 2 projects in one. And finally, we also got the riverbank stabilization project that we're gonna be going out to bid as well. That also will be 2 projects. We're gonna combine the Williams Arroyo Phase 3 with this project. So we'll bid them separately, but it will give the opportunity for the contractor to see if it works to do both projects at the same time. So that's great news, to get those under construction. And Jarek will be coming in regularly, giving you updates on those 3 more projects. Some more of the bad news kind of a thing, I want to bring it to your attention. It was recommended by Nan, our legal counsel, for me to bring this to your attention, pertaining to our operators. Come January 1st, if we don't have a replacement for Anthony, our lead operator, we will be out of compliance. I know that Carla's working very hard trying to get a replacement for Anthony. Remember, he's a dual certified operator. If we don't have a minimum of 2 level 3 operators at the wastewater plant and 2 at the water plant, as a minimum, we will be out of compliance. So the hope is we get a replacement, but keep in mind, if that does not happen, the EPA doesn't care. We may strongly be subject to an administrative order. What happens when you get an administrative order is we're getting dictated to with a timeline and potential fine and penalty that runs in the tens of thousands. And we want to avoid that at all costs. So we're doing every effort possible that we can to try to find a replacement for Anthony. I just want to make sure you all are aware of that. Carla's got 2 positions open right now for a level 3 wastewater operator and the dual operator, separate certifications. So come January 1st, if we don't fill those positions, the commission needs to be aware that there's a real possibility that we may be subject to something like that. Also, what we're working on is a contingency plan to get a contract going to see what it would take to basically hire a contractor to operate the wastewater plant. If we can't find operators. Well, that's where the industry is going. The operators are getting scooped up by these same contractors, and they're turning around and charging you 4 times the amount once you contract them out. So that's why, Carla now has increased the salary range for our level 3 so that perhaps we can get somebody in a timely manner. But I just want to make sure the commission is aware that potential is there, and it's out of our control once an administrative order is submitted.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Thanks.
So that, when you say contingency plan, because I heard you say hope that we get someone, so that plan is in place, so if January 1st hits and we don't have someone, we
Well,
can
yes,
contract that out.
when I say that we're starting, we're gonna go through an RFP process to hire a consultant who will draft up a contract. The contract is based on the specifics at the wastewater plant.
Okay.
All the equipment, the operations, there isn't like a boilerplate that you can copy from. We have a copy of the city of Farmington's. There's nowhere close near what ours is.
Mhm.
Everybody's is different. But this consultant will take bits and pieces, put the wording in the language, and then we'll go through a bidding process. And then, so we'll be doing that at the same time we're looking for employees.
Okay.
So hopefully, so if we do happen to get an AO administrative order, then at least we can go back to the EPA saying, look, we're trying all efforts that we can to minimize that AO.
Good question, Kobe. I was thinking the same thing. Is there any other comments or questions?
So, while you're here and I'm thinking about it, it looked like we had some cleanup over here on Highland from last night's rain.
Okay.
Any other problems?
Not yet. We'll just, it's an ongoing, as you know, every time it rains heavy, Highland is always the first place to go for cleanup areas. So that'll be scheduled. On the last heavy rain, there was a major tree trunk that went across there. It was huge. So every time there's a heavy rain, there's something new that gets presented. We've had couches before floating down there, all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's never ending every time it rains. We have considered looking at a feasibility study, if you, per se, lack of a better word, just to see if, what would it take to build some type of a bridge of some type over that, so that we don't have to stop and close the road every single time it rains.
That's another place that we've talked about for 20 years that I know of.
Yeah.
Putting a bridge in, and it's just one of those things that always got put
On the wayside.
on the wayside, and
Yes.
I think it's another thing that we need to talk
Well,
about.
they also talked about putting three big culverts
Culverts,
underneath it and
yeah.
raising
Yes.
on top of it. I mean, that was another thought process through the years, so
So fixing that low water crossing.
it needs to be fixed.
And so, did anybody go up and look behind Blanco at the holding ponds, or how's that look? I just am scared to death right now that we haven't had enough maintenance on those holding ponds or anything, that Blanco's gonna flood again.
Yeah, we actually, believe it or not, coincidentally, we got a crew right now over there this week over there. We're gonna continue having them probably for the next several weeks on all of those ponds. There's like close to 29 or 30 little ponds. We're going through them each time. It's more, we're trying to make this an annual program, and hadn't been an annual. We're trying to make it an annual now. We did a little bit last year, but with personnel constraints, we just couldn't get them out there. Next, we did a little bit, again, starting last week. We're gonna do a little bit this week, and we're really gonna go heavy next week. Our main operator has been on vacation this whole week, so we're gonna get him. That's all he's gonna be doing for the next couple of weeks.
Great, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Thanks, Ruben. Any other reports? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
You won't second it.
I'll second it.